Hi, my name is Michaela Weaver, and in this short training I'm going to be talking to you about the effect that the current coronavirus pandemic has had on our drinking behaviour and what we can do about it. So if, like millions of other people, you found that yourself in a situation where you've been drinking a lot more, you are by no means alone. Alcohol is a highly addictive drug. In fact, it's the second most addictive drug on planet Earth. And people get addicted to addictive substances. If we take enough of any drug that's addictive, we're going to become addicted. Alcohol addiction is a huge problem of pandemic proportions. It's going to kill in excess of 3 million people this year alone. So it's a really serious problem. And I don't want to scare you. It's important to understand the facts. So there are some reasons why you may have found yourself in the current situation, in the situation that we've been in over the past few months, where you're actually drinking more. And I thought it'd be really useful as we're beginning to come out of some of this lockdown sanctions that we found ourselves in, to actually look at what might have happened and what we can do about it moving forwards. So there are many reasons and things that might have affected that change. The first thing I'm going to talk about is that we are huge mimickers as a human race. And what that means is we copy what we see around us, particularly of people who we admire and respect. So if we've grown up in a family or in a society where people around us drink, then we're more likely to follow and mimic them. And we're more likely then, if they drink a lot, we're going to be drinking a lot as well. Now, what we've seen during these lockdown times is that more and more people are interacting in the media through cameras in their own homes. More people are socialising from their own homes because that's all we've been able to do. And so whether it's a celebrity on the television from a camera at home, or people that you know playing Zoom bingo or Zoom quizzes, what we found is that most people have got a glass in their hand at the same time. And it's almost expected that you come to a Zoom conference, not a work one, but a social one, and everybody's ready for action, everybody's ready for that fun, which has been denied them. And it's like, come on everybody, charge your glasses, get your G&T, get your wine, come on, let's have a good time in a society where we've been deprived of having any fun at all. And so we've mimicked what's gone on around us, and all of a sudden it's changed from maybe going out and having a drink to it really being expected that perhaps night after night our home social life has begun to revolve around alcohol even more. So you may have already been a home drinker. I know I certainly was. But that pattern would have most certainly changed because of that, what we've seen around us. So we're great mimickers. Secondly, we've had more time. What we find is that because alcohol is a highly addictive substance, all addictive substances have a natural progression. And it will be certain influences that stop the addiction progressing. And one of those is natural boundaries that we have around us. So it might be that we have to get up and get the kids ready for school. We have to get ourselves ready for work. Maybe we have charity commitments. Maybe we have, friends that we meet for a regular walk in the morning if you're not working. Whatever it is, we have some kind of routine in our lives, generally. So that we know that we shouldn't drink when we're at work between 9 and 5. We know that we've got to go and pick the kids up from school at 3:30. So, the worst that we'll do is have a swift glass of wine before we go. And so without those boundaries in place and without those restrictions, it's meant that we've had a complete free-for-all in terms of when we can drink. And with those natural boundaries down, many people have found themselves drinking more. So that's another reason why the process of addiction often is held in abeyance for a long time. Many people find that actually when they retire, they start drinking a lot. And alcohol always starts off being something that we do for fun because we think it's going to be fun. And it always ends up as something we do for relief. Which brings me on to my third reason that alcohol consumption has gone through the roof. It's increased by 30% in many countries. For example, the UK, United States, Canada, America. That's the United States, isn't it? Australia, New Zealand, South Africa. These countries, the alcohol consumption has gone through the roof. And one of the reasons for that is because we still are living, even though we're getting back to some normalized, a new normal, we're still living in very uncertain and very stressful times. Every single one of my clients at the Alcohol Coach, every single one tells me that they drink to relieve stress, and because they believe, it's a whole nother training as to what's really true going on there, believe that alcohol relaxes them. And so in a period of uncertainty, which causes anxiety in its own right, huge changes in personal circumstances and freedoms, all of that is just unprecedentedly, if that's even a real word, stressful. And so people drink when they're stressed. So 3 reasons there why alcohol consumption has gone through the roof. 1, because it's socially acceptable, and there have been all these ways in which it's become more acceptable. And we mimic, we copy, we don't question it, we just follow the masses. Secondly, because those natural boundaries that we've always had have gone. And thirdly, because of the increase in stress and anxiety caused by uncertainty and just change, new situations. So what can we do about that now as we're coming out of lockdown, as we're getting a little bit more freedom, and a lot of people are going crazy, but as we're having some more freedom, what can we do? Well, I think one of the main things we could do is to recognize what's happened and that it's not a good thing. Because when we change our behavior around alcohol by drinking more, it's not a habit, it's an addiction. But there are certain habitual things around it. It's very quick for those changes to become ingrained in our learning and our subconscious mind. It's not so easy to change it, because once addiction gets hold, it's a whole new thing of neuroscience and biochemistry that's going on in our systems. But one of the things that we can do, and it's really important, is to recognize that what's happened over the past few months isn't good. Not just because of the situation we found ourselves in, but the way we've responded to it. And so when the situations that we found ourselves in change, we can also make a decision that we're going to change our responses to it, and we're going to change our drinking behavior that we've become accustomed to after the last couple of months. So what I encourage you to do is just to think about that and explore it, and to set yourself some boundaries. The boundaries that we had before, which might seem like a different lifetime ago. Stop, think, and put in place some new boundaries for yourselves today. And for the rest of the time moving forwards, maybe you're beginning to get back to work. Maybe you've worked from home and found you've had a glass in your hand on your desk. Put some new boundaries in place to set the way forwards for how you want this to be in the new normal, because we're now going into a new phase. I hope we can stay there. We're going into a new stage, and so that's an opportunity for you to put in place some healthy coping mechanisms and some healthy structures to help you, reverse what's been happening and to take yourself forward into a really good place. So I hope that's been helpful, and take care. I'll speak to you very soon. Bye bye.